And some green tarps, too, Matt. The teams have been putting tarps down up and off of pit road, putting jack stands and everything down to keep them down. And then the officials will come up to them and say, oh, we got one to go. So you have to take them all back up. So they take them all back up again, roll them up, put them out of the way. And then they said, no, the rain's here. So they put them back out again. So right now the teams have gone to the wet mode and put their tarps out on pit road, trying to keep their pit area dry, because once it gets wet, then it tends to stay wet. So they're trying to stay ahead of the rain, just like we are right now.
Hey, Dave, what color is that tarp? Please look down.
This is a blue one, but see right up here, Benny, right up here, this is a green tarp, right here. Just like I was trying to tell Matt Yoakum.
I was terrified that you were colorblind there for a minute.
We almost had him.
That was a good comeback, Dave.
Attaboy, Dave. All right, what's it going to be this time? One to go or not one to go?
Sure, let's give it one.
And the story is it's one to go.
Well, this is the third time. The third time is a charm, right?
Right.
Next time we'll see the green flag.
How about it, driver?
Well, actually, the drivers are really probably calling the shots here. I mean, NASCAR has they have to make the decision, but they're talking to the drivers as well as a pace car driver, what's it look like. But probably the first 2 or 3 rows, they're asking those drivers, what's the track look like? Are you guys ready to go?
Marty?
Well, let's find out from Matt Borland, crew chief for the man on the pole. What's the track look like? What's Ryan said?
He hasn't said much about the track yet. It's been sprinkling the whole time, so hopefully they don't start this thing, but we'll see.
You don't think this is psyching them out, do you?
No, definitely not.
All right. They, of course, won just a couple weeks ago at Michigan. And on the pole today is Ryan Newman. And he's been radioing to the crew saying the track is a little bit wet. It has not stopped sprinkling down here for the last few minutes, and it continues to do so right now, but very lightly.
Well, like I said, the drivers have nothing to do with this call. It's all NASCAR.
You know, it's terrifying when the pace car is riding in front of the race cars with its windshield wiper.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
That's a bad sign.
Now let's watch those lights. If those lights pop back on, that means we're not going, but...
Right now there's radio traffic going back and forth between the race director, David Hoots, and the pace car driver. And he just asked him as they went into turn 3, how's it look, Dennis? Dennis said, we're ready to go, Tower. So they are coming to the green. 200 laps at Darlington, 200 miles at Darlington, 147 laps. Ryan Newman and Mike Skinner on the front row. Turn 1 at Darlington's tricky enough. Hope it's not wet as they go off into the corner.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, man, that is so scary. Watch these cars go through the corner with raindrops on the camera lens. Matt Kenseth underneath the 48 car. Kenny Wallace takes a spot away.
That'll be 7th place for Kenseth. Here's Jimmy Spencer up to the inside to try and get a spot. Black flag for Larry Foyt. He will come to pit road for a stop-and-go penalty. That's Mike Skinner that's getting shuffled. Is that Skinner? No, it's Lyndon Amick that's getting shuffled back.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you hear tire management. I'm not quite sure what that means here at Darlington, but when you start the race, when you have new tires, probably the first 4 or 5 laps, you can really be aggressive with the car because that's the best the tires are going to be. But you're also going to knock off the good out of them real quick. So if you're going to gain positions, now's the time to do it.
Here's Kevin Grubb trying to pick up a spot on Mike McLaughlin. That's 11th place.
The Dr. Pepper car, Bobby Hamilton Jr. running in 10th position.
McLaughlin in the 18, driving for Joe Gibbs. And Grubb kind of on a little roll here lately. Not spectacular racing for wins, but after a disastrous start to the season, they've been knocking off top 10 finishes regularly. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The 57 is Keller, the 10 is Jeff Green, the 1 is Jimmy Spencer.
The 57 and 10 are team cars, team drivers.
You heard Marty's report on Jason Keller before the start. I talked with Jason earlier today as well. Jason is from South Carolina, grew up here, still lives here. He said Darlington is the thing. If I can win here, it will be the highlight of my career so far.
And Larry Foyt comes in to heed that black flag, and the leaders go by as he's sitting on pit road, so he will be a lap down.
Ryan Newman, the leader, starting to catch the back end of the field. 22 car is Drew White, driver who's run some on the ARCA circuit from Inverness, Florida. Somewhat off the pace. We'll see how long he's able to keep up to the minimum lap time requirement. Fourth place, Jeff Green and Jimmy Spencer. Green, the winner here at Darlington back in the spring.
Whoa, Jimmy got sideways getting off that corner.
Let's go to Liz Allison.
You know, Jeff Green won this race here in the spring, and a funny thing happened to him on his way to the race that weekend. On Thursday, heading to the track, he got a speeding ticket. Now, I want you to know, guys, on the way here this weekend, on Thursday, he got another speeding ticket. Could it be a good omen? I don't know. What do you think, Alan?
Well, now, that's not an uncommon occurrence on the way to Darlington from the Charlotte area. Is it, BP?
No, that's not a very uncommon thing at all. It happens to almost everyone.
Does it happen to anyone we know?
It has.
Anyone seated close to me?
It has.
Anyone speaking into a microphone?
It has. Yes, it has. But not lately, I might add.
There are a couple of stretches between Charlotte and Darlington where the local officials enforce the speed limit rather vigorously.
Look at Kevin Grubb and on the Bobby Hamilton Jr. racing hard for position.
So, BP, you didn't answer the question. Did you get a ticket on the way down here or not?
I got to tell you the story. It's 1970. Remember Richard Petty had the big crash over off turn 4 than it was? Well, he crashed on Thursday, and I couldn't believe his car end for end and tore the wall down. I couldn't wait to get home and tell someone about the crash. Going through Society Hill, South Carolina, a trooper pulled me over. As he's riding the ticket, I got to tell somebody. I said, man, you should have seen Richard Petty. He tore his car all to pieces down at Darlington just a few minutes ago. And the trooper said, yeah, no, I just talked to Richard about 15 minutes ago. So he made a bad day for Richard Petty even worse.
Just underway, dodging the rain here at Darlington. The early leader is Ryan Newman in the South Carolina 200 by Applebee's. Back at Darlington Raceway, yes, the cars are at reduced speed. The caution is out for rain. We got 12 laps in. We need 147 to make up the distance. It's raining at Darlington. We're back in a minute on TNT. Carolina 200, presented by Applebee's, is under caution for rain. Rain is threatening all around, and it's peppering the racetrack now. Obviously not heavy enough for them to stop the field under the red flag, but enough that we can't go at it full steam. Ryan Newman's the leader, Mike Skinner's second, followed by Jason Keller, Jeff Green, and Jimmy Spencer. Then you've got Lyndon Amick, Matt Kenseth, Kenny Wallace in 8th, Jimmy Johnson 9th, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. rounds out the top 10.
Let's try to talk to Kenny Wallace and see how wet the racetrack is. Kenny Wallace, Benny Parsons, you read me?
Yeah, Benny, I read you.
Okay, how wet is the track? How soon do we expect it back racing?
Well, Benny, you know, the track looks pretty dark right now, so it's pretty wet. I think we're going to have to ride around here a little bit. The only way we can gauge it, you know, is for the track to get lighter. You know yourself, this pavement's pretty wore out, so when the pavement starts getting real white, that's when you know it's dry. It looks like they got the dryers out here on the back stretch now.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, look at those white vehicles on the inside of you. The jet dryers are coming out.
10-4, we need them to the rescue. I got a pretty good car here. I'm excited. I'm ready to go back racing.
Okay, but remember, you got to call your spotter by name.
Yeah, 10-4. That's old Fat Boy. His real name's Donnie Epling, but I think you and him make a pair.
Well, yeah, that's a pair that'll be the full house, being Fat Boy.
10-4.
All right, take care of that red flag. Talk to you later.
They are bringing the field down onto pit road, and the South Carolina 200 will be put under the red flag for rain. So we'll take a commercial break here, talk to some drivers when we come back. You're watching NASCAR on TNT.